This morning I woke up and this is what's on my calendar. Vlog anniversary. Three years ago today,
we started vlogging.
We filmed our first episode.
That's crazy.
I'm kind of like not in the mode to film today. We were supposed to be taking this tree down, which got canceled, which is kind of annoying. But I just got off the phone with Fresh Ground. Oh, I said today's kind of a special day. You know, it was 3 years ago that we started this, and I was telling him about why and all that went into it. He goes, "That's a story." He's like, "You got to share that." So I was like, okay, we'll film an episode today. So this episode is dedicated to Fresh Ground, or I just at least want to thank him for the inspiration to pull the camera out today. But what I was sharing with him was 3 years ago, we felt this thing on our hearts. It's like, you just got to do this. Back then, the way I would phrase it is, I feel like we were being obedient to what God wanted us to do. For some people that might sound like overly spiritual, and even for me, I think my boundaries of what that could mean have expanded a bit. Like,
it also sounds kind of strict, like,
yeah, like the dad's like, "You got to do this or I'm gonna beat your ass." I don't see it that way. I see it as like, the way God made me and us is there was this thing on my heart that if I didn't do, I would have felt like I was like selling out or taking the easy way out. For some people, getting a job is hard. For me, that would have been like easy compared to making videos about our life. Because back then, no one was encouraging us to do it. Everyone was telling us that only narcissists will do this. And I have like a perfectionist streak, so all of our videos in the beginning, like the first one especially, I like hated. I can't even watch them now. I mean, I probably could. In fact, I thought, well, maybe we should make this one of those like reaction videos, like let's watch our first episode and cringe to it. I'm not gonna do that.
They've turned into something that's more endearing to me. It's like it's almost like watching me or us when we're like kids, you know, and oh, that's cute. Like we thought that music was good, or it's very meaningful actually. If you were to just like, I've clicked our first episode a lot of times in the last couple years, and it's a meaningful moment because I just think, wow, look how far we've come, and that we had the courage to start and have like very humble beginnings.
And in the beginning, you know, I would spend 5 hours a day editing. I was learning Final Cut. I was learning camera gear. I didn't know anything about anything. And we would have like 20 people watch our videos. I mean, yeah. I remember it being a huge deal when we got up to 100. I mean, and then maybe a year or two into it, we got up to like 500 people a day were watching one of our videos.
I remember 1,000 subscribers was like, whoa, that's crazy.
To a point where we leave on the Appalachian Trail and we come back with 15,000 subscribers. It's like, wow. And I'm really proud of those videos. I look at those videos for a number of reasons. One is I think they just kick ass in terms of like the visualization is there, the production was there, and my son edited them. I mean, like, that's cool. So I'm like really proud of that product. But there was this like 3-year gap to get to that point where it's like, it was embarrassing to watch, at least from a talent perspective. But I don't think there was any way to skip that.
In a way, everyone has to start like that if they're ever gonna get any good at anything.
It wasn't until like fairly recently that I really started to feel like we're having an impact on people. And I know we had an impact because people have contacted us over the years, and I don't want to sell those stories short.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was a lot of work for a few stories. And really with the Appalachian Trail videos, that's when we started getting a lot of feedback, like people saying, okay, you're changing my life. And for me, it's hard. Like, I don't want to let those stories go to my head, because in a way, I think if I do it just for the people, Well, it's finicky. Like when the people are angry or don't like a product, then what do I do? Quit? So for us, we have to stay true to, I think, what we feel like who God has made us to be and what God has put on our heart, and separate it from the results a little bit. Otherwise, we'll be up and down with popular opinion, basically.
And what's helped me is to think if it helps or impacts in a positive way one person, it's still worth it. Which is really hard it's a really backwards way of looking at it in our culture, because, you know, especially the YouTube culture, it's like the more subscribers, the more likes, that's how you measure your success. I just believe like just one person like matters. That's a hard thing sometimes to remember.
But I think also pragmatically, it's hard to decide, is it worth me spending 5 hours of editing away from my kids for one person who I've never met?
That's a good point.
That I don't even know, in a lot of ways I don't even know exists either. Like, it's not like I meet most of our subscribers, so it's confusing.
Yeah, it is.
But one of the things I meant to say was, it was crazy dedicating 3 years of work to not feeling much, like we were making much of an impact in the world, or not seeing much fruit, or however you want to say it. But now I'm like, oh, that was totally worth it. But I guess my conclusion is sometimes you have no idea what you're being prepared for. And I think if we would have started off the Appalachian Trail without that 2.5 years of experience, I think it would have been kind of a disaster for us. Both the product and our lives would have suffered a lot more. I think we were like in training for 2.5 years and didn't know it. And when we hit it and we got like kind of the more popular, like more comments and feedback, which was really hard to handle both on the positive and the negative side. And we had this like super tough workflow where we're like, you know, you arrive at the end of hiking 15 miles and now you're supposed to edit in the woods with no electricity. Like we were ready for that, I think, because of putting in the work before. Sometimes you don't know what you're being prepared for, and
you can only see the one day.
You only see one step ahead.
Yeah.
And you know, all we knew when we first started, and this is one of the things I'm the most proud of, when we started, we said 3 days a week. And deep down I wanted to do 5, and then within 2 months, or 1 month maybe, we switched to 5 days a week. And we never missed a video. I think in like the 3 years really. Like through births, through traveling, because it was just like we were just learning like not to make excuses, and just put one foot in front of the other.
Like even if it's like a shitty product, it's okay. Like just keep doing it.
Knowing every day it'll get better. And now we're taking a break for a number of reasons, which I think we shared in the last video. We feel like we're supposed to be like working on some other projects for now, but we're going to be back to video soon. And it's cool to be here.
Yeah.
So I thought this might be encouraging, and Fresh Ground really inspired me by just saying, you know, you got a story there. Like, share that story.
Yeah.
And
that's cool to hear, because we have a lot of people that we don't know telling us that. And then people like in our lives or used to be in our lives telling us the opposite. And to have someone who we know, Fresh Ground, telling us that, I think is really valuable and came at a really good time.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to put together kind of some of the footage over the last 3 years that we've assembled for, you know, these videos we do at 100 video mark and yearly mark. So we've kind of already assembled them because we don't have, I don't think we can make the video I'd like to make right now. But I think it'll give you a picture of where we've come from and how much we've improved. And I can't wait. I mean, this is the bottom line. I can't wait to see where we're going, but I don't know where we're going.
Right.
But if it's, I mean, for us, our family, it's hinged upon the goodness of God and His faithfulness to us. If His goodness or faithfulness or love towards us is last 3 years is any indicator of what's to come, whatever's coming next is going to be better,
even better,
and exciting. Oh, there's
our old neighbor.
So anyways, thanks for listening, guys. I hope this might inspire some of you who have that, maybe that the calling or that thing stirring in your heart where you're like, oh, I got to start that project, but it's just like easier to go to work or
believe it's not worth it, or it's going to be too hard, or just all the negative voices are winning out. See, it's very easy to do.
So this is what the last 3 years have looked like.
We are starting a vlog.
I feel that.
See you guys. We are at Panhandle Gap.
Like, I couldn't be.
Happy Thanksgiving!
Dan?
It's looking me on the heat.
At least that's what they thought.
I'd be looking anywhere. I'd just be.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, did you see it?
Anyway, smile.
We're at mile 13.
Going to our breakfast meeting.
Except for that, and then you can.
Here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to 2.
Whoa.
Just be like.
Hi, baby.
We're almost to the top.
And remarried.
Go!
I just signed a deal that lost me $200,000.
This is the first Starbucks in the world. He's crawling.
I'm gonna have to film and edit.
Snazzy.
This is like give or take, you guys.
Cheers.
actually getting in the Christmas tree stand.
Oh, good job.
Someone is 11 months old today. Fight for together!
This was a real handwritten letter.
There we go.
We are at the highest point of the Appalachian Trail.